It's the 1880s and it's the middle of the night and you have a very fussy child. What are you supposed to do? Perhaps you would give them a dose of Mrs. Winslow's soothing syrup. Hi, I'm Gail Brown, archaeology specialist here at the Indiana State Museum, and these are just a few of our crazy cures from the 19th century that people used to take before the passage of the 1906 Food and Drug Act. Before then, the medicine industry was kind of like the Wild West, with different companies mixing together different ingredients to cure just about anything. The first one is Mrs. Winslow's soothing syrup. It was created to help colicky children, help calm them down, help them as they're teething. It kind of allays their pain. It also helps clean teeth, freshens your breath. It also helps relieve diarrhea. But when we look at the ingredients of Mrs. Winslow's soothing syrup, it is basically morphine, alcohol, and a couple of other ingredients that now are common in cleaning solutions in today's world. Our next medicine is Dr. King's new discovery for consumption. Consumption is another term for tuberculosis. Dr. King's would not only cure your consumption, but also any coughs, colds that you may have, bronchitis, asthma, whooping cough, any kind of ailment of the lungs that you might have. When we look at the ingredient list for this one, again, it's morphine, alcohol, chloroform, and pine tar. What the pine tar did, I really don't know. But the problem with this particular medicine was that it didn't really cure those ailments. The chloroform may kind of help calm down your coughing, and so you're not coughing as much. The morphine would you wouldn't care that you were sick at the time. But the problem is if you had an infection of the lungs, you weren't clearing that infection through coughing or actually addressing the particular infection, which then could potentially lead to your death later on. Our last one is perhaps my favorite, and it is Colden's Liquid Beef Tonic. Yum! Colden's Liquid Beef Tonic was developed to help cure any chills, fever, any sorts of feeling of weakness, any spinal irritations you might have, any mental or nervous system issues that you would have. My favorite quote on their print ad is that it would help with the debility of the overworked businessman. Whatever that may mean. But later it was also marketed to help cure drunkenness, as well as any opioid habits that you may have developed by taking any of the other medication that we have here on the table. However, when you look at the ingredients list for this one, believe it or not, there's no morphine in this particular one. It is beef extract, some iron supplements, some quinine, but over 26% of this particular medicine was alcohol. Now, all of these drugs were eventually phased out after the passage of the 1906 Food and Drug Act, which basically started stating that companies had to start listing their active and non-active ingredients on the bottles so consumers knew exactly what it was that they were taking, so you weren't swallowing pine tar. The other thing that it also started with subsequent laws is that companies could not make wild claims as to what these medicines would cure. So you would have to scientifically back up that the medicines that you were selling would actually cure or treat the ailments that you had. So you wouldn't have to rely upon something that would do everything from cleaning your teeth to relieving your diarrhea, but actually get the right medicine that would help you with those particular ailments.